James Nottingham, love a bit of James Nottingham, last week did some workshop training, which I couldn't actually unfortunately attend because I was teaching, but I saw the video recording back of it. And his training was entitled Growth Mindset, Is It Really Worth It? So he is the founder of Challenging Learning, and he is a force to be reckoned with in education. I was really, really interested to hear what he had to say. He is somebody that I really, really admire in education, and his ideas are quite forward thinking and basically trying to get kids thinking again in the classroom rather than kind of being spoon-fed and regurgitating. And that is a massive passion of mine. Anyway, he's done quite a lot of touring with Carol Dweck, the founder of the mindset theory. So he knows her thoughts and her ideas and where things have come from. He knows the ins and outs of it really, really well. His biggest thrust, or part of his biggest thrust within this training, was that actually, if you look at the meta-analyses, which is largely where some of the criticisms of growth mindset have come from, which is basically John Hattie did a load of research about what makes a difference in the classroom, and there's lots of things that are listed, and they looked at effect sizes to see what actually was making an impact. And when you put growth mindset in that list, it actually doesn't come out as one of the big hitters that you might think or hope that it would do. And that is largely where a lot of the criticism of it has come from. Well, there's lots of parts to this conversation. I don't think a lot of schools have been doing mindset in a way that is going to be productive. You can't use it as a bolt-on. It is much more than that. It's a culture. It's something that your school lives and breathes by, or it should be. Anyway, that's a completely different conversation. But the main part about what he had to say that I thought was very interesting was that the meta-analyses, which basically anything that John Hattie tested, if it came out as 0.4 or above in terms of an effect size, that meant that it was having an impact in the classroom, and the higher that number, the higher the impact. And when they tested growth mindset, it was coming out at 0.15. So still a positive effect, but not as hard hitting as something such as feedback, which was getting, I think, in the region of about 0.4. Anyway, he said that if you dig deeper into this research, what you will find is that the 0.15 comes from Stanford University, where Carol Dweck is working currently, not from the places like Challenging Learning, who are working in schools, not like Winning Scotland, who are doing a lot of work within Scotland to do with growth mindset. No places like that are actually on the ground working it. And incidentally, a lot of the teachers that have been working with mindset, when questioned about whether they thought it made a difference before having sort of delved into this training, were like, absolutely. You can tell in the classroom, you hear the talk from the children, and it's obviously making a difference, possibly more for some than others, depending probably on a lot of factors. But basically what he was saying was that it's the research with this 0.15 effect size is not coming from those places that are actually doing stuff day to day in the classroom with it. It's coming from Stanford University, who run 2 different workshops, 25 minutes, or 2 different programs for 25 minutes, and then measuring the impact. Now, if you're getting an effect size of 0.15, which is a positive effect within less than an hour, what on earth could it be doing if that is a culture you sustain within your school? And I think there's a bigger conversation to be had in terms of the impact it could have with children if they're learning about mindset or living by mindset, because it's not really about just learning it, it's about living and breathing it in your day-to-day life. If that kind of culture is going on at home as well, the impact it could have could be massive in terms of your learning.